Around here, this is more than a game. It's family, it's culture, it's legacy. A community that understands the work, respects the grind, and honors the journey. From the hardwood to the highlight moments, to every player chasing greatness. This is where passion grows, where fans become family, where standards are protected, where women's basketball lives. Welcome to Everybody Loves Juju 12.
Welcome everybody to Everybody Loves Juju 12 Talks Hoops. I'm your host, Juju, coming with that old head school commentary. You're going to learn to listen to me. I'm not right all the time, but I'm right most of the time. All right, let's talk about it. Let's start off with this. Everybody crowned South Carolina the SEC champs before the game even tipped. All week, it was they're too deep. They're too physical. Nobody in the SEC can beat them. And guess what? Texas didn't get that memo. They came in. They punched fast. First, controlled the tempo. Took the championship. That wasn't luck, y'all. That was execution. And let me say this. This is exactly why we play the games. Rankings, height, narratives don't win championships. Hoops does. South Carolina is still elite. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. But tonight, Texas showed the whole country something. The Gamecocks can bleed. And March Madness just got a little bit more interesting. I know a lot of people, they watch my show at Hate Watch, or they want to see what my opinions are. They don't maybe hate me. They probably hate that I'm not going to follow narratives. I'm going to follow hype or follow tradition. I try to explain about the little nuances and details to the game. Just gets on your nerves, but you won't listen. I went to the Players Era Conference in Vegas. I saw Texas win by 2 to South Carolina. Valiant battle. And, they're just getting their legs up underneath them. Things like that, losing Chloe. Just not being who, even when they came to California and they beat us by 17, I was expecting a beat down like we got from UCLA or UConn, by the way, are the two teams I think will definitely be in the Final Four. But no, you guys don't want to listen to me. You want to keep making me try to get on your hype train, on your narrative bullshit. And I was just trying to explain to you that Texas was missing Judd. Not to say she did all that much, but they're missing Preston and they were missing Aaliyah Crump. Okay? And they won by 2. And it was all about, playing back-to-back games that weekend when I was in Vegas for the Players Era. And then when it comes to the tournament, you're playing back-to-back-to-back. And if you don't have the depth, healthy, or experience like South Carolina doesn't, then I would look over at the Texas bench, and I knew that Aaliyah Crump was going to come along, the freshman, which was really great to see Aaliyah Crump and Agon Maker at it. I mean, he learned how to match up. And I knew Bria Cunningham had given you all she could, and so I was looking in there, and I was like, oh, they don't got Okot in there. As soon as he brings Okot, he needs to bring Oldacre. So he brings in Okot, and he waits a bit, and then he throws in Oldacre. I said, okay, I see what he's doing. He's doing the matchup thing. He's going to match you. And I already know Justin Carlton, she has extreme confidence against Joyce. And you guys don't maybe pay attention to Justin Carlton, but Justin Carlton was key. She was focused. She was key in in Vegas. She was so key. I remember her, and I was like, okay. And then moving forward, everybody kind of moved away from Justice Carlton, but I was like, no, something about them Gamecocks she takes personal. I was like, okay. I started to see Madison Booker. I started to see her play better, more, well within herself, be the mini monster that I know that she can be. But again, the elevated play of Raven Johnson, what took a toll on her is because same thing what happened with Juju early days, Kennedy, and especially Jazzy. She's never had to exert herself offensively this way. She made a sacrifice for the Gamecocks. I always felt if she would get better offensively at the next level, but she had enough weapons around her, just to continue to be the floor general, the leader, doing the little things. Hell, not even doing the little things, guarding the best players on opposite teams. But when you try to guard the best players on opposite team and produce, that's what makes you super special. Only one person have I seen do it, and that's why I talk about Juju Watkins. That's why everybody loves Juju. 1-2 talks about Juju Watkins. And not only did Juju do it at that level 2 ways, pretty much she doesn't play the best, have to guard the best player unless it's a switch. Let's get that clear. That's Kennedy. But she gets the boards, blocks, some steals. She plays angles, passing lanes. But what's crazy and what's special, I think, is the ability to be guarded and doubled and tripled the way she is. So when you talk to me about efficiency, but she doesn't have a 40% something field goal percentage or 3. Hell no, you're not going to have that when you're getting doubled and tripled and quadrupled in some cases. No, hell no. No one's guarded like that. So let's leave that aside. I haven't even seen Sarah Strong guarded. Like nobody's been able to guard her like that. So let's get back. I digress. I say that to say Raven cramped, rightfully so. She exerted herself. She played amazing basketball yesterday. But to ask her to come back, but I love the way they pulled her out, gave her some potassium, gave her some, electrolytes, hydrated, and she came back magnificent. But where was the rest of the team? So I want to hear from you guys. Somebody talk to me. What happened to your omnipotent Gamecocks? There's no excuse. Don't try to walk away from it like, well, and try to be cool about it, because what happens on my channel, Chicago, a lot of time, NJ, Nation, the Lions, Pharaoh, I try to explain. It's like, yeah, they're good. I agree with you, blah, blah, blah. But, nobody's invincible. Anybody could get got. Hell no, they can't get. But what is that? At least my LSU fans kind of have like some realism, some realism to them. And the only reason I don't say nothing to Mondo, Donovan or Lue about UConn is because, God damn it, I've seen them in person. They don't overexert themselves. They stay within their pocket. They're just very fundamentally sound. They take up the floor. They space. Half the time, they don't even dribble the ball. Sometimes they have moments like that, and it's like you're just frustrated. You're like, what are these guys, like robots or something? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to run them off their line? Who's going to get them frazzled? Who can stop them? We're going to see. We're absolutely going to see. But I needed to take care of business and come back and explain to you guys. It's not about hate when I'm coming and I'm explaining stuff. I don't have analytical boards and talk. I tell you that they're in the green, they're in the red, or whatever. Thank you, Mondo. And Mondo, me and you have had this discussion. Like, you know me the longest, Mondo. You know me the longest. You heard me when I was on the other show and I said USC will beat UConn at UConn. And you guys, you're like, they're going to storage, Julie, just to make sure I was clear. So I know that. And and they got Pacemaker, Sarah Strong, Ashley Shea, Kicker Arnold, Easy Fudd. Who else? Jan Alfie. Everything you get, you just threw up everything, kitchen sink. And they got the 18,000 fans. I said, and we got Juju Watkins, Kennedy, Kiki, Rhea, Malia, Walhoffen, Avery, K9. What do you want me to say? Well, they got Gino. He's okay, can't argue that. Like he's the best of all time. Okay, I got it. And I just would not let it go, Mondo. You know I didn't. I was like, no. And they made her cry. I said, who? I said, they made Juju cry. she's had a year to think about this. And I was like, a hit dog hollers and bites. So now, South Carolina may have to go and switch sides with Texas. I went over this whole, the last bracket that I saw, I went over this whole thing. Now they may have to switch and come to Sacramento and then go through UCLA, ultimately, probably. And that means I may have to play them. Like, I didn't want to play their asses again. Okay, so then Texas looked like the faster, more physical team today. They were turning defense into offense early, very calmly. They were much more composed, much more poised. And guess what? They were in the backyard of Oklahoma. They were in the backyard of SEC. They didn't let it frazzle them this time. They didn't have the fans that they have when they're at home, which I always expect teams to win at home. They didn't have that. They needed to play with poise, with confidence in themselves, confidence in the coaching scheme and plan. He didn't seem to be upset. I don't even know if Vic took his jacket off today. Anybody know if he took his jacket off? We UConn fans don't brag often, I don't think. No, I don't have there's a couple on Twitter that really just kind of, their thing on Twitter, on X, is Sarah Strong is the best basketball player, and really feel disrespected when people were talking about Blake's. And I get it, because Blake's is not enough to be better than Sarah Strong at the moment. And I know Sarah Strong is just quietly. She don't have no big 30-point game. I can't think of a highlight moment this year. I get it. And then, yes, she's probably like the best all-around player at the moment, right? But Blake's doesn't do enough for me yet. Defensively, play, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's just going to come up a little bit more, and then she still now is going to have to go through even more, better players in her class, as well as in Juju's class. So, I mean, she's a little bit away from, taking it all. Like, the jacket stayed on nice and fresh too, didn't it? It was like creased up. It was like on his back, solid. Just wiped the front off. He was calm, so they were calm. He challenged them, and he said they were soft. Rory heard it. They heard it. I mean, that's what she said. Yeah, that's what he said. That's not what they believed about themselves. Hook 'em, Booker. I'm talking about it now. You should have jumped in the beginning, Hook and Booker. I'm giving you guys. I gave a 30-minute rant, soft rant, of why I don't have a problem whenever you came in and said what you said. I was like, they haven't seen him like I have. I've watched him play 2 times in person, 2 straight days. I felt like it was 3 days. It was just back to back. And they didn't even have, I was hooking what I told him, and he didn't even have Preston and Aaliyah Crump. But nobody went to hear me. Some people heard me talk about the freshman Aaliyah Crump. Some people listen. But what do I know, right? I'm just a little bitty podcaster. I don't talk about metrics and win shares and pew shooting and analytics and that. Man, come on, get out. I ain't got to do all that. I could come up with the same conclusion if I had to, using the eye test. I'm just here to commentary. I'm just here to give you commentary, give you my opinions. Sometimes my opinions are strong. They're not what everybody wants to say. I may not be for everybody on that. I may be looked at as you're just guessing. At the end of the day, I see the roller coasterness of certain things, but I take into account how healthy a team is, the depth of the team. Who did they play in order to when it's time to be in a collision course? And I look at Texas Hook'em, and I see everybody that I know, and then I was telling them, I've been telling Mondo and them, I've been telling you guys early on. I was like, they only won by 2 because they didn't have Aaliyah Crump and Preston. I said, if I take a stab in it out of the air, I said they probably would beat them with them on the court, fully gelled and Kim. I said by 12. And here I am today. It's more than 12. I gave them at least 12 points to be that they were a 12-point difference. But damn, they went even further. But shout out to them. I didn't look at their numbers. Let me look at some of their numbers so we can see. I can hear from you guys to tell me what you think happened. Carolina's going to take a back seat next season, and Texas is going to run. And then, don't listen. We know who the recruits that South Carolina have and the returning players that South Carolina have. I got it. But we're second behind Texas currently until we see who else we get out the portal or recruit. But in terms of freshmen, they're number 1 with the freshmen. Addie Bourne, Alicia Spade, and Bria Crittenton are coming. They're losing what? Oldacre? And Rory, that I can say that might be important. If they get their head on straight and win this national championship, they are here to stay until they face the Trojans. But as we come in with our badass recruiting class and the return of Juju Watkins, we're going to have to go, out, prove ourselves, get tested, and get that number 1 seed, and maybe face them again. Like it may be time for a shift. It just might be time for a shift. I don't know. What do you guys say? Carolina, Madison Booker is the best player. This is a Texas fan. Madison Booker is the best player in this conference. What does she have to do to get respect? Prove it. I like the way Texas is constructed, and the players they have coming in next season. They're here to stay. Yeah, I agree. What's good, Bob, for real? How about them Bruins? Yeah, them Bruins is killing it. We knew that, though. UConn will repeat. Okay, so I love that, Miles. I appreciate that. Hit that like button and subscribe, Miles. I have no problem with that. I have none. My thing is who will face UConn is my thing. I'm trying to figure that out for you, Miles. The only team that can challenge the Longhorns are the Tigers. That has always been the case. That will always be the case. That's weird. I'm gonna see Hook'em. I don't know. I know you're a Texan, and that took a lot for you to say that. But to be honest with you, LSU, it comes down to discipline, and it comes down to being smart and situational things. Situational moments for LSU. And listening to your coach, because damn sure can tell you that Texas listened to theirs today. USC still needs to add players, a shooter or 2 bigs that can bruise. That's fine. I got you. You talking about next year. You talking about the Trojans. The Trojans can't hang with Texas. The Trojans can't even beat South Carolina, who has won 6 in a row. No, Hook'em, I'm talking about my Trojans that you will see next year. So hold that thought, okay? South Carolina, who has won 6 in a row. No, I don't know where you guys are getting this 6 in a row stuff. I think you got that. I think you got that wrong. You got that wrong. I don't even think you're saying we played 8 times and they got us like 6 times. You sure you looked up football or you looked up basketball? I don't think so. The Trojans are going to have to prove themselves. Absolutely, we're going to have to prove ourselves, but don't start quoting 6 in a row and all that bullshit. Okay, don't do that. I don't even want to hear it. Don't do that. Because now we're talking about We're talking about in a modern new era. Let's stay present in the modern new era of what makes the game, what makes the Gamecocks and Dawn the team to beat the champions, because of it's in a modern era in the last 5 years, I guess. And Lindsay just got here, building her team. So don't. I'm gonna let you talk. Yeah, let them talk. They're gonna see. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into detail right now. Let them talk. I'm gonna let you talk, Cook. You slow down though, buddy. But go ahead. Feel good. I already gave you your credit. I said you got a good recruiting class so far, but we're right behind you. You do not have a Juju Watkins. You don't have the best freshman of the year. You don't have the number one freshman coming in. You don't have a Kennedy. And you haven't quite yet seen Taya. Okay? And then I'm not mad at Amelia coming in the same way you had Preston coming in for Rory. And we'll see what we get out the portal. So slow down your talk a bit, because when I talk about Juju, Jazzy, Kenny, these girls are far and above with of excellence, of being number one in their class means for a reason. And Kennedy is 6 in her class, but she's in a hell of a class. And none of in the classes she's in, there's no freshman from Texas above her. So I don't want to do the little detailed things like that. You hear me out. Like Jay said, like I tell Jay all the time, I'm not going to get into the battle with you guys. It's all about watch and see. You don't listen to me anyway, so yeah. So here we are. What this will do is it will determine where everybody falls, and we'll find out for Selection Sunday, right? We're going to find out Selection Sunday. They're going to probably put something out next week to talk about. We're going to get all of these girls home, rested, and healed up for the next round, and find out where. But I think that Texas, in my opinion, is staying home in Fort Worth, hosting the thing, staying home, getting a good seat. I think this loss for South Carolina is going to put them on an even playing field, in my opinion, to send them out to the West Coast. If that's the case, how many of their fans can travel with them? Or I shouldn't say can, because I'm not counting what's in your pocket, but how many will travel? So it's going to be fair ground for whoever is going up, and for them to try to get to the Elite Eight and the Final Four and to the finals coming from the West Coast. Okay? So lock in. This is the year that I felt like I kept saying there's parity. You might see a different look. You might not even see UConn, Miles Johnson. You might. I don't know. You might not see Miles Johnson. You might not. But like I said, stay here, listen to what I got to say. I'm going to really do my best to really think about this based on the brackets and see who, is going to get the overall, and some feel UCLA should get the overall number 1 seed, which will make it a little bit different for a little different viewpoint for UConn. It may stir up some controversy. Okay, so Madison Booker, through 3 seasons, Big 12 Player of the Year, Big 12 Tournament Champ, SC Player of the Year, SC Regular Season Champ, and then Tournament Champ. So today, did she get, because I'm not looking at it, did she get the MVP today? Come tell me. Jay, I want to see Hannah Hidalgo and Notre Dame go up against TCU and Olivia Miles real bad. I do too. We're going to watch that, Jay. You know me, I'm tired, so. Oh, man, I got to get my crown put on in my mouth tomorrow. I got to make sure it's not at the same time. That game is tomorrow, right? What time is that game? Because, I'll play it on my phone while they're doing it. I don't think it'll take that long because I already have the temporary on. So thank you, all of you that are peeping in from X. All you that are peeping in just straight from YouTube, I need more subscribers, please, so that I can be in the algorithm and I can be a part of the huger, broader discussion. And you can be introduced to, well, who is she? Who is she? What does she know? What's she talking about? Why she's got, I just have an opinion, but I have an opinion based on knowledge, based on experience, based on seeing greatness for all these years, based on me playing ball. Yes. Yeah, me being competing, me being able to see and compete against some of the best in the 80s in track and basketball, right? And then in the 90s, playing a little pro-am. So seeing the graces I have and then seeing what I'm seeing, I'm just sharing with you. I'm just giving you some insight. Some of you bet, right? Don't blame me for if you lose. But what I can say is, like Jay said, I'm gonna keep shining. The real ones, like those of you who come with me, I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate even some of the heated debates that I've had with those like Miss D, Nation Alliance, a Pharaoh, But when I tell you something, be reasonable. Know that it's not out of hate, not out of bias. I'm trying to give you something like some real shit, some real spit. Not hype, not narratives. What's up, D? What's up? Cool water. Some of them Gamecocks got humbled again. Hey, Jew and JJ. RC said it. You got humbled. But, I mean, I guess that's what I would expect, right? Everybody would expect, if you're going to ask them who's going to win the game, it's either I don't know or they're going to – the Gamecocks, you're going to go for your team. Hook 'em stuck with the whole way through. I don't know where Pharaoh is. That's the problem I got, is when you come into my channel and you run your mouth, but then you don't come back and take your licking. But if something goes on with my team who is not even fully – who they're gonna be, I especially would have hung with you last year. I didn't have no problem going toe to toe with you last year. I didn't care. I didn't have no problem saying we're going all the way to the championship. I just know the heart. I can see the heart of a lion when I see one, and I knew a lion when I saw one, and I knew that lion was going to bring her herd along with her, side by side. Either you get on board or you get off. If the heat's too hot in the kitchen, get the hell off. Hit the hell out. Straight up. I told you guys from the beginning, only because I done seen the top 4 teams in the country with my eyeballs several times. What it's looking like, but taking into circumstances, depth, how healthy they are, how tough their competition is the day before. Like, it's a solid 5 games, I believe, that you got to play to get to the top. And if you can do that with a short turnaround, or are you traveling across the country to who's traveling across the country? Who's coming up? Who depends on their fan base and their and the love of their fan base to get them through? Who can get off the plane and their legs not feel super duper heavy and shake it off? How far do you got to travel? You had everything to your advantage. You had a hard game against LSU Gamecocks. You played in Greenville. You had all the cards stacked with you. But you couldn't get, you absolutely couldn't get it done. And what went wrong played out. And it's not Raven's fault. It's just a symptom of what played out. She was great. She's great. She gave all she had. But you got to understand, these girls, they're human. They're going to get dehydrated. They're going to cramp. And it's hard to push through that. So it's next man up. And nobody, and if they want to, what up, boy, I'm talking about it all. Watch from the beginning. And if they want to celebrate, their fans want to celebrate, or they want to troll, let them, what they really don't do. If they want to troll, they have every right to, because they hear it all the time. They get overlooked all the time. To personal attacks of the way their coach looked, like the dresses, or how his demeanor is, to they're soft, and I might tell you that they played soft. I don't know if their general personality is that they're soft. But they have every right to celebrate. That's what you do. And then they're going to need to lay it down, close that book, that chapter, and start 0-0 when they get into the tournament. Gamecocks, same thing. Go back. Look at the film. Film don't lie. See what you can do different, where you can be better, where you can increase, where you can look at your analytics and see if this one does a little bit more here, this one does a little bit more here, and see if you can produce what it is that's needed on the floor. LSU, listen to your coach. Listen to one another. Calm your emotions. Play with maturity. Play with some goddamn discipline. Use your IQ. There's a lot of intangible things that I'm saying that I don't know that they can gather in one season, 1 year. And yes, Texas is coming back with one of the best recruiting classes so far, and we're right behind them. So things can look different. Just the way you saw Vandy's come from out of nowhere to being one of the top 5 and 6 teams, so can we. It's not impossible at all. It is just not. The Big Ten, I said, is the deepest, and what makes them the strongest is because they're the deepest. Okay, and so you keep overriding and disrespecting UCLA because they haven't proven themselves. Don't do that. Don't do that. They may end up going further than your team is going. Soft in the middle. That's what it boiled down to me. They got bullied in the paint early, and Texas never looked back. Looked like they were in shock in the rest of the game. That's how it looked when I was in Texas. They didn't know that. They was like, who the hell is this Justin Carlton? And Jordan Lee was going out. And I was like, wait till they add Preston. Oh, wait till they add Lilia Crump. This is the game of basketball. This is the ebbs and flows, right? It's part of the game, and this is why I love it, and this is why we watch. This is why we watch. But I get why, as a fan, you're going to ride behind your team. You're going to, no matter what, even in your heart of hearts, when you have an ounce of doubt, you're going to say your team is going to win. Hold on one second. So if you're new here, I got 150 in my that are viewing me right now. If you're new here, do me a favor. It can't hurt you to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Maybe even hit the like and come back and just take a peek in and see what I might have to say. You might agree, you might not. I don't know. But I need more subscribers so I can get in the algorithm, so I can get in this goddamn conversation. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? Because it's fun. It's fun watching these young ladies work their asses. They are. They're working their asses off from an early age, mastering the craft. Much respect to all of them. You said 51 of them things. UCLA crushed the crap out of Iowa, which I knew Iowa wasn't going to fight. I think somebody like Ohio State. Hell, I'll give Illinois that would have tried to fight, down to the wire more than Iowa did. I was like, what the hell is Iowa doing? And you already know we saw Iowa in person. Maybe it was a bad day for them, as you guys are saying. I don't know, but they didn't look. None of them looked intimidating. I just knew what piece I was missing. Those games we lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 point. It was, that one we just walked on. I was like, I'm not impressed. But you lost to Penn State. Yeah, we did, probably due to fatigue. And that's what happens sometimes with us. That travel ain't no joke, y'all. So if you are coming across the country and you are coming to the West Coast and you are in the SEC, I suggest you get here a little bit early, get used to the time zone probably will give you favor. But the lactic in your leg, you can be careful of. That's not good, especially if you're not hosting. The young ladies, okay, can't wait for the return of the Mac, the Juju barbecue chicken Watkins. trust me, she can't wait to release what's in her. Trust me. We clap just like me and her clap just like this. She gave me a hug. I was showing her the shoes that I got. I respect her. Now I want the red ones. We just love our team. Win, lose, or draw, I just love my team. They're just fun to watch. They're good girls. And they play, when they really playing that good brand of basketball, it's just fun to watch. Do I think UCLA once again exposed how unathletic Iowa was? Of course. One thing about Iowa is like, I don't know what be happening to them in Iowa. I was disappointed. Like when I looked at, and it was really just Hannah Stokey. The other girl, she was dialed in. She didn't have no, and I didn't watch it today, but I'll watch. She didn't have no like pain or hurt for losing to us. No shame, none whatsoever. And I was like, I can't take you that serious. Because if you drop to us, you're damn sure going to go over to UCLA and get your ass kicked. You didn't even come to play. You just didn't. You was riding bikes on Venice Beach. I'm glad you enjoyed the sun and the beach. Your kids need that. It's a long year. It's a long year with one another. Funky weather and some of the coasts with the snow and stuff like that. So you hit Cali. You hear that 80-degree weather in the winter with waves breaking short, getting the Erewhons and smoothies and matchas, doing what we do, eating clean, as Gino said, that clean, healthy food. Yes, yeah, body can't take it. So you need some melanin to come on over here in the sun to, so it doesn't drain you, zap you. So yeah, what it is and what it will be will come out. The top 4 seeds looking for who will be the number 1 overall. Some who's going to be not only the number 1 overall, who's going to be 2nd seed, 3rd seed, 4th seed, things like that. You guys are going to be very, very shocked, very, very interested. Put this behind enjoy the win. I'd say Texas. Don't sleep on anybody at all. As you can see, because South Carolina, they ain't no joke. They're going to make their adjustments. They're going to do what they're going to do. But do they have the depth, in my opinion? And does Texas have the depth? I think UCLA can go kind of deep. So these are my teams that I have in my head whirling around what I think I got to see is going to be around. Do you think it even USC makes smart? Yeah, oh yeah, they're like ranked 8th. There's a lot of stuff, teams that were losing today and stuff like that. They're fine. They're fine, Tina. They're going to I'll send you we were projected 8 or 9 seed. We're projected 9. We're in it. You just pretty much gonna play a team that you will supposed to win, and then you'll play like you may be in the bracket of the number 1 seed, like 4th seed. Like let's say Texas is a number 1 seed, but they're 1, 2, 3, 4 of top seed. So you play them in the 2nd round instead of playing them in the 16th round. It's not that bad. You got to understand, Tina, that we had the 2nd strongest strength of schedule. And matter of fact, those babies didn't get no break at all. Look who we played. We're like, bro, look, we played UConn, South Carolina, UCLA. We played everybody in the top 4 except for Texas. You know what I'm saying? We played quad 1 teams. We played Iowa, we won. We played North Carolina State. They were in the quad 1. There's more than just them that are quad 1 teams. So those kids were playing tough matches and never getting a break and traveling without Juju, without Rhea, without Kiki, without Avery, and we were in those games. You know what I mean? It's up to them. Maybe this rest is what they'll need. But yes, it would take a miracle to beat the number 1 team. They would have to come and not really be prepared. And we would have to come with a whole lot of something that comes overnight. But whatever the case is, I'm ready to pack it up. Get ready for next year. I'm cool. I can respect the strength of schedule, builds character. It builds character for sure. It really does. I know we play top teams. We also got taken to the shed by them. No, sweetheart, we're number 9. No, number 9. We got and when you get taken to the shed by UConn or UCLA, you're supposed to. So that doesn't hurt you at all. Like that, it's when you lose to say Penn State, or you lose, I can't even complain about Notre Dame when Notre Dame was balling. We lost to them by 2 points. We didn't lose. Losing to a number one team doesn't hurt you like that. It just doesn't. I remember, I think Iowa, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they lost to, I know Michigan. When they lost, they didn't even drop. They stayed right where they were, number 6 or number 8. They don't move. You don't get hurt by that because you're supposed to lose. You probably get style points if you stay close to them. But we're number 9. We're number 8. Jay said number 9, but you're jumping ahead. I could have swore we were number 8. But 9 is cool. I know we played the top teams. We also got to, yeah, you said that. Okay. And then I had brought up in the previous show, I brought the brackets up at the moment, as I think the 6 or today, but they have to wait till every game of the conference weighs out. And then they're going to give you like a projection. Charlie Cream has been correct. And maybe not be what we want to hear or see, but he had been spot on, I think, last year. So, and then we're going to go to Selection Sunday. You're going to have to rewind to get your raw impressions of the game. Love different angles. I didn't watch the game live and talk it through, but I opened up with a 30-minute rant, what I thought. And then earlier, I talked with, I think B Will came up, Bear Beauty. B Will was behind the scenes, and we went through the bracket. I let him give his prediction. I might have spoken here and there, but I'd already spoken, and I always felt like it's up to them. But I always felt Texas. I especially felt Texas would be the eventual winner. If anybody could get UConn, if they played the game the right way, the best that they can. I just walked away, and that was November, and I just walked away seeing something. But then when I saw UConn in December right in front of my eyes, I saw something special about them. And I haven't seen if Blanca's back yet. So I was like, it all depends on where they fall, on what side of the country, and if they will play each other. But South Carolina really impressed me. It's just that they don't have the depth scares me. Their depth, and their depth. It got make her do great. I think she did. I think Alicia Turner she did great, but it's not enough. Are you more out on Vanderbilt or Iowa or SC now at this point? Are you more out on? I mean, Vanderbilt, I didn't think it was their year. I think I just felt like they're like a top 8, in the rankings. Now, where they're gonna land in a tournament is just different. Blake's a one-man show can only do that for so long. Like, she's not even facing Juju type defenses yet. And it's hard. She gets tired, and she doesn't really have a strong pull-up or euro. She has a long scooping layup package. And then she hunts for contact. And if you step back, she's just falling. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't getting those calls. Michigan is the team I'm most disappointed. No, they're still like a couple of players from really lasting to the end of the year. Yeah, my loss. They're like they're fading. Like, they don't have enough depth. They don't get enough rest. Silas Swords went MIA, right? Yeah. And I've heard her say her freshman year, she's like, I don't really look to shoot. She's not really a scorer. She's like, I'd rather pass it. I'd rather get my teammates involved. If the shot is there or whatever, she doesn't hunt it. She's not a killer like that. Sometimes she goes ballistic because it's what the team needed. But then she also tries to get in and hustle and get rebounds and get 50-50 balls. You can't throw your body around all like that. She's not even built for that. And try to step back and score threes, No. She's not built for that. This is a long season, yo. It's like 3 different increments: non-conference, regular season. The tournament feels, I mean, does a lot. Your conference tournament does a lot to your bodies, back to back to back, and then you get that little break, and then all of a sudden you're expected to, if you want to get to the championship, five strong game. And what if you travel when you are in the March Madness? And then it's like, is everybody's head in the same place? And, is everybody still with it? Is everyone truly healthy? You're welcome. The way I'm just trying to give it to you. Like, I'm just speaking from my heart. Like, I may sound confident with it, but so do you guys when you talk. So I'm just giving it to you so for you to just think and remind me, say, no, you didn't say that, Jude. I'm trying not to be wishy-washy and be on the fence, because it's time for you guys, some of you and your favorite teams, to wake up to the reality of what it is. Do I always, because thank you, because you've been with me a long. And I didn't know that I'm not trying to come off conceited or arrogant or even like, who the hell are you? Why do you think you know? It's just like you've been watching something for a long time, over the decades. And you've seen the greatest in person play, or seen the greatest teams. And then, I just try to be real like that. And then there's some really special people out there that then just can do some real special things, like real special things. Like, anybody would have looked at us and be like, oh, we're not supposed to be the great UConn in stores, a program that was dead since Lisa Leslie and them 30 years. Who do you think you are, coming in, walking into the most dominant program in history that eventually won it up? God, I don't care. You ain't seen no Juju up. You got somebody to guard her? It's like, while y'all talking about, God damn it, is she something to talk about? And now I got, and what I love is, like, who came with fire in their eyes was Kennedy and Juju. And shit, sometimes Malia was. Sometimes I'll be seeing fear in my group right now, like eyes wide open, like, shit, London don't give a damn. She takes that shot. She's like, okay, nobody's shooting. I'll shoot it. We're like, wait, hold on. Should never be scared of nobody. Believe in your team. Stay focused on your team. Look at the basket. Look at the player. Look at the floor. It's called grounding. When you get there, yeah, Bougie agrees. She's over there rubbing her face on the ground. So I'm looking over at her. You come in, you get used to your surroundings. Called grounding for mental health specialists and psychologists. You gotta feel, smell, see, touch. You gotta get acclimated to your new environment that you're gonna play in your bracket, in the arena that you're gonna be in. How the lights are, how the players, some of the players you might have already played before. Some of them, we'll see, you might not, never, but they haven't played you either. But you got to come in with a lot of confidence, and you got to listen to, if you absolutely see something different in your coach, it's okay to speak up and let them know. But choose your moment. You can't be breaking up, screaming and hollering at each other. Whatever that was going on in the LSU huddle, I pray for you. God bless you guys. But get it together. Just get it together. That's it. Get healthy. Get in a ice cold bath. Get in a cryo. Get some rest. Eat right. Watch film on your own, team. You know what I mean? It's time to lock in. You're right there. It's almost done. You go right into April. Right, Kyrie? Boy, we got to change our expectations of some of these players, because, Lord, you do. You do. And remember, I just thought it was great. I thought, even though they got belt to ass by Texas today, I could see they just didn't have everything. They didn't have it. They just didn't. They didn't have it. And that's all there is to the story. That's all I got to say today. So do we have one more game, Jay? Am I mistaken? Is there one more game? Yes or no before I close this up? Please like and subscribe. when I close out the show, I would love to see at least 10 more subscribers because I got 176 of you watching, and I appreciate you all for coming. Next time, come in and say hello. Even afterwards, if you want to make comment. I told you West Virginia. Oh, I actually chose West Virginia to beat TCU. That would be an upset. But TCU should move on. But we'll see. I'm going to go watch it right now. What I was saying about this subscribing, it can't hurt to hit the subscribe button. It really can't. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. So, yeah. So I'm going to finish watching that, Jay, talking to you through the Discord. And I appreciate y'all pulling up. If you got questions, hit me up in the comment section of the YouTube video for sure. Okay? I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace out.
Around here, this is more than a game. It's family, it's culture, it's legacy. A community that understands the work, respects the grind, and honors the journey. From the hardwood to the highlight moments, to every player chasing greatness. This is where passion grows, where fans become family, where standards are protected, where women's basketball lives. Welcome to Everybody Loves Juju 12.